Hey guys, welcome to my live. My name's Max. My channel's name is The Covered Caller. I go by Max Convexity sometimes. This is my friend Rob. He is from the he owns the app StockTools.App. It's a great app, and we're going to talk a little bit about Stock Tools today. But also, Rob's just kind of an all-around smart guy and a short-term swing trader. Knows about crypto, knows about a bunch of things. Rob, let me ask you, what do you think about the market right here? You think we're at historic bubbles like 1999? I mean, what do you think? I mean, I'm just asking. I have no idea.
Yeah, sure. I'm definitely cautious. I've been like cautiously optimistic. It's one of those things where I've been, trying to navigate this without being too long, right? Like even on my Tasty account, I try to do the 50% buying power at all times kind of thing, like not going too long at all times. Make sure you always have ammo available. I'm always I am a hedger as well. I will actually waste money buying puts. And so I bought some puts today. I bought some puts in BitX actually, even though Bitcoin looks like it really wants to go to like 120 or 130 soon. But still, I have a bunch of BitX that I run coverage strangles on. But I keep a hedge. I keep long puts on pretty much all of my positions. Anything I have shares on, I try to keep at least one long put on, and then I'll try to stay delta neutral. If I don't have puts on, I'm probably running like a poor man's covered call style something like that, where it's already kind of has a built-in hedge. But yeah, it looks super toppy. It feels super toppy, but they're going to start printing again, so they're going to keep buying. I know it's like we pull up like all those old charts of recessions versus the Fed funds rate, and you can see where it levels off, and then that little gray bar comes in, and then the Fed's fund rate starts going down, and then usually SPY follows shortly thereafter.
That's how it always happens. Yeah, as soon as they start lowering interest rates, that's actually the time when the market go. Yeah. But it hasn't happened yet. I mean, I have wood.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I got it. I mean, but anyway, it'd be great if maybe this time it didn't do it. Anyway, it'd be awesome. I was just wondering what you thought about the market. So tell us about Stock Tools. Now, sure. I know you've made a lot of changes. Just like this week, you've made changes.
In the last week or so, I've been, and actually I have some more that I've been hiding too behind the scenes.
Do you want to share the?
Oh yeah, go. Let me pull up.
Do you want to share the screen, or?
Yeah, there we go. We'll go to this guy. Hopefully that looks okay.
Looks like we have a good crowd here right now. We have about 8, and a lot more are going to show up. But these are my hardened. These SB needs this tool. I promise you. SB's the kind of guy that does these kinds of trades.
Cool.
Anyway, SB. Yeah. And a lot of my guys could get value out of a tool like this. Okay, here it is. I'm adding it to the stage, Rob.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Sorry if I'm talking with a Ricola in my mouth. My son is the kids are back in school, so he brought home something, so now I have a sore throat.
I'm sorry.
Let's see. One of the cool things that I've been working on is this stock screener. So I have an existing option screener. The option screener will let you select a group of any tickers, and then you can do a little search, and then it's going to find whatever the criteria is. 30 days to expiration, 35 delta. We'll change it to 20 delta, and it's going and it's finding the closest in that time frame, and going and finding the contracts that match that criteria. I've been building a stock screener that is similar. It's where it's going to do the same thing. It's going to pull in any group that we have in here, and we'll say Dow Jones 30. And what it's doing now is it's actually going and it's getting its 14-day price history, the daily change, the beta. So like how much does it move against the SPY? What's the volume for today? And then compared to previous days, what's its current RSI? What's the MACD? The technical indicators this is moving averages actually. So it's looking at the 20 EMA and the 50 EMA, and seeing if it's above or below, and then trying to figure out, okay, is it riding the trend or not? And then taking all that, aggregating it all together, and then coming up with a score and trying to figure out like a momentum score. for these tickers, and then trying to, and then we can sort them by momentum, or you want to sort by, any of these fields. You can sort them by the RSI and try to look for the ones that are most oversold or the most overbought, and vice versa. What I'm trying to do next actually is trying to combine this view and the options view, right? And so one thing that was interesting, like last week, that I noticed, NVIDIA and AMD were really down. They were really getting beat up. The semiconductors were just like down bad. They were showing as like really low scores. They were showing at the bottom of the momentum. They were down here in the 20s. But then I'd switch to the option screener, and in the option screener, they were at the top because IV was high, right? And so when IV is high, you're going to get a very high score, because I'm looking at what's the amount of premium you're collecting and all that stuff to go into the score on this side. So in my brain, I'm trying to figure out how can I combine this so you can see the tickers that are performing well and are going in the right direction, and then also seeing the options that are associated with that as well, all in one view. So I'm trying to figure out a way to not put so much on the screen that it's unbearable and information overload, but I'm maybe like adding some tabs here or something so I can switch between that, or maybe just like throwing like 20, 30, 40 delta puts and calls over here and like a tab or in a column or something. But yeah, this has been really cool. I've been using this a lot just to go through and try to quickly see, like who's like all the fintech tickers and pull them down and be able to see, okay, here's everybody. Here's the Bitfarms and Riot and SoFi and Bill and all of this good stuff, all the different groups. And actually that brings me to another feature, right? And so these are all just pre-built groups that I've built. And just talking with Claude, like, Claude, build me a group of all the fintech tickers, and then reviewing it or going and Googling stuff. But I've built the ability to have your own watch lists in here, right? And so being able to create a stock list that you could load in any of those, we'll say test list, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then we can just add tickers in here. We'll say, Palantir and Tesla. And then we create the stock list. And then if we go back into the option screener, it's going to be there for us to grab. And so we have our test list. And so like we can have our quick access to kind of like, if you have your favorite tickers that you always want to search for.
Yeah.
Same thing on the other side on the stock screener as well.
So when can I load my Tasty Trade account into here?
Oh man, that's coming. That's a super, I don't even want to show the URL, but it's I'm working on it. I'm actively working on it. So that's one of the super secret features. So we have I have portfolios here. You could come in, we'll just say I have like a test portfolio in here. So you can see I've created this portfolio via my SnapTrade import. So I've been working, there's a company called SnapTrade that's similar to Plaid, where users can connect their accounts, and then it gives me like a little token that says like, yes, you have access to this user's account, and then I can query all of the trades and then create an account based on that.
Nice.
Based on that. And so I have that importing working. I'm working on the syncing right now. So I have like the way to sync, and it's actually like trying to sync, but it's going to come back with 0. I have a bug right now that I'm working on. And I've actually built a little credit system as well. So we have like AI credits and refresh credits. So if you're an active trader and you're doing multiple trades a day and you want to see those updated automatically, you would hit the sync button. But unfortunately, they charge me 5 cents for every manual sync. I get like 1 free sync a day.
Sure.
But then if you do manually, it's like 5 cents every sync. So I had to implement like a credit system so people don't
abuse it.
Yeah, just abuse it. Now I'm losing $10 a day in syncs or something like that.
I hear you.
So yeah, so that's going to be coming soon. I'm working on that. This has been, honestly, the portfolio stuff has been a little buggy this whole time. No, it doesn't work for futures yet, SB. Sorry. I have only stocks and options. It's another like $2,000 a month if I want to get indexes as well, or the futures indexes as well.
We'll get there.
I'll definitely get there. And so like that's another thing that I've actually been thinking about doing is if I connect to Tasty Trade's API, I can get some of their futures data. I can get their data. I can get data through Tasty Trade, but you would have to go into Tasty Trade, and then you generate an API key, and then you would input your API key into my app, and then that gives me access to be able to hit their API using your API key. And so I don't know. There's a lot of different ways to skin the cat, and a lot of different ways to get this data into the system. But I do have a way, like, also, if you were to just add a position in here and you were like, okay, let's add a Tesla position. When we go to create a position, I have some interesting ways where you can, like, sold one put for Friday. What's the date here? What's the next one? Let's see if you figure it out for next Friday. So for 370 strike, for 250 premium collected. I wonder if this will work. We'll do it live. Yeah, September 26th. I think that's right, actually. That's right. We'll do confirm and fill. And that just found it, and then found the trade here. If we look, yeah, September 26th is the right date. One thing I've been working on is I'm trying to get the option strat style
risk way better. Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting there. I was actually working on this just last night. It's definitely not ready for the prime time yet, but going through and also doing strategy, profit analysis over time. And then I've been working on this new screen as well for Greeks and trying to figure out, okay, well, how many, what's your deltas, what's your gamma, what's your that, and then trying to do some interesting info around your directional risk and gamma risk and all that stuff that you might care about for a trade. And so trying to sneak in some of these features, because it's been this stuff has been lacking. All this portfolio stuff, it's very easy to get distracted and work on all these cool calculators. And really, the cool thing that I've been working on is the backtester. This thing.
Yeah, the backtester is awesome. But we had a question about the backtester. I think SB had a question, but
sure.
Well. No, maybe not. I think he was talking about your own trade. Do you have the full synthetic, or I don't know what he was referring to. I think he was talking because you were talking about your own trade.
Yeah. No, I usually I will usually just buy the call, and I actually have a performance covered call calculator in here, right? And so this is actually like the same way I would do it. It is the way I kind of designed this guy. And so you have your leap target delta, where you're choosing what delta your leap is at. Maybe 70. We'll do 75, 80. Every time I do that, it's going to go and try to find leap strikes, and it's going to not just pull, the 300 days recommended in here. It's going to pull in all the dates so you can kind of play with it and see it. And so it's like, okay, here's 49 weeks, it's 337, 365, 456. And so it's like it's going out even further and showing you other leaps. And so we can select any of these, and it's going to populate this whole subsection down here that gives you a breakdown of the leap, shows you what's your deltas, as well as show you like how much you're losing per day, right? And so trying to break down what is the I'll make that bigger maybe. And so trying to convey to the user of like, there's an overall concept in here too of like the poor man's covered call is like you're buying that high delta leap because you're trying to represent the 100 shares of the stock, but you're also not you're hopefully not expecting to have to like pay for the full the full cost of the callback, but you very well could. But one of the things is like extrinsic only, right? Like you're buying your time is really when you're buying the leap. And so how much money do you need to collect every week to pay for the time premium and to at least break even at time premium for this Palantir leap that you paid $6,300 for? Over the 53 weeks, you would need to collect $40 a week to pay for the theta, right? The theta is, your extrinsic value is 2150 in this. So to pay for that 2150 over time, you're going to need to collect 40 cents a week or $40 a week. But if we look at the short call options down here that you have, so you have a weekly option, a biweekly option, a monthly option, and as we select those, it will hopefully pre-populate. I don't know. It looks like it's just my click events aren't updating here. But yeah, so like let's say you did this 23 delta for the 187.50 strike, you'd be making 166 a week, which would like completely blow out the minimum that you would need. It would make you 300% over time if you're able to collect $160 a week.
Those deep in the monies are like taking out a loan or something, because if you had all them, if you were Warren Buffett, you could just own the shares But if you have a smaller account and you're trying to get a little leverage, you could also buy a deep in the money. So no, I love it, but there's a cost to the deep in the money, which of course can be expressed in theta decay or whatever. And and you've broken that down into per day, and then you show what you have to sell against it to try to make it, to try to pay for it. It's a great idea.
Yeah, thanks. And then trying to show, just examples, right? Like it's not, nothing's tried and true or set in stone of like, you must do this or that. I'm just trying to show examples and then explain, to some people, some of the breakdowns of like, how would you manage it? What do you do when short calls are challenged? When you're feeling anxious about a position, close it out, just shut it down. When you're underwater, right? One of the biggest things of poor man's covered calls is always managing your deltas, right? And so it's something like some people are doing poor man's covered calls and don't even realize it, right? Like you have your 80 delta here. This covered call is going to go, it's 187.50. It's 23 delta. Let's say it goes to 195. You're going to be at 78, 75, 80 delta at that point, maybe even over 90. And so now you're going to be actually losing money as price moves up. The leap is not going to make up for it. The leap delta moves a lot slower than the short call delta. It's just that gamma risk.
Of course, you have opportunity loss all over the place. You need to roll. If you want to try to maximize that, you need to roll. Absolutely. I got you. No, that's awesome. But you have a roll calculator also and everything.
Yeah, I do have a little rolling engine. Like if we did have that guy on and we were selling the 187.50. What was that? Oh, that must have been next week. Yeah, that looks better. Let's say we sold this 167, or we sold this 187.50 for 67 cents. And so now it's showing, okay, we're $1 under. We've got a P&L of, $99.60. And it's going to break down all of the different, I do kind of like a Greek analysis and like a position analysis. And then I do a breakdown of what the engine is recommending. So I have a rolling engine that's going to go through every expiration. Well, first it's going to see what's the current position status and see like where you're at, if you're in a profit, if you're out of a profit, if it's super high V, if it's low IV, and try to figure out where you are there. And then based on that criteria, it's going to select the different rolling strategies that I have built in. And so like the one to pick for this, because it's seeing we're in a loss, it's picking defensive escape, where you want to just really roll up and out for a credit any way you can. And so you have the ability to actually, you could reduce your credit here. So like right now it's a 30 delta that it's choosing, but if like you didn't even want to go that high, you could select a 20 delta and then it's going to go out further. And instead of going like that's going 22 days out when before it was looking 15 days out. So it's just going to keep looking further out for you. It's been pretty cool. This has been a fun one. I think, I don't know, I need to rethink the way I present this data. I feel like it's a little overwhelming at times. It's just so much information. I have like a table view that I show in a couple other pages that I think might represent this data a little better. I think it might be a little hard to see as you're like looking at these cards. It's really busy. But yeah, it's super interesting. It's been super fun. I love building all this stuff. It's been really fun. I'm actually working on a different way. I'll show you guys a sneak peek. I was working on a wheel strategy screen with a little bit different way to view the contracts, right? So instead of me just selecting like 3 options, showing you all of the contracts for like 20 delta and saying like, all right, well, if you want to do 20 delta right now, we're missing one. Yeah, it's just off a little bit, but like, okay, we have the 232 8 DTE and then the 245 ATTE on this side, just so you could kind of get a feel of where your strangle is at. If you want to do your wheel, if you want to do just one side of the wheel, if you want to do the top side of the wheel, if you want to do both sides, and then trying to figure out from each side. And then if I scroll down a little bit, then representing that wheel strategy analysis and trying to figure out, okay, what's the range that you're in? How far below is your break even below, and how far is it above, and what's your total premium and all that stuff. But I'm thinking, I'm really trying to figure out how to. I keep building all these cool things, and I'm like, how do I just shim it into all these different views? So I have like a covered strangle calculator that I'm like trying to conform. I I have like a covered call calculator, a cash secured put calculator, and then I combine those together to make a covered strangle calculator. And then I was like, all right, now I want a wheel strategy one. But I think I'm just going to end up like extending this to be like the one to rule them all, maybe, because it has all of the features and functionality inside of it. And then replacing like this, so I have a way to see like, okay, what's the weekly, 30-day, 60-day? But instead of showing these 3 cards, I could show it in that kind of 2-column format where it's like calls on the left, puts on the right.
Yeah.
And so users can just go through and easily select. It's like, okay, if they want to, they could select the weekly call and the monthly put, or vice versa, and kind of switch up their legs a little bit. And so it's not just, okay, every contract has to be weekly and every contract has to be.
That's a great idea.
Campaign is the same. Because I do the same. Like I'll sell calls short term, and then puts long term, or vice versa. Like depending on the situation. The calls are easier to roll sooner rather than later. Puts are a little more forgiving, so I will usually keep my puts a little bit further dated than my calls sometimes. So,
you're going to need to put a lightning spread calculator in here pretty soon.
Dude, I saw the QLDY today. That's super cool. That's really interesting.
And it's the lightning spread. Of course, Blocks is doing the lightning spread, but yeah. Anyway, the lightning spread back tests really well. Also, I've been back testing. It's exciting. It's exciting for sure. No, this is great. What else do you got? I mean, is that
Sure.
That's nothing. Come on.
No, I do have one question. Like, so the lightning spread,
Yeah.
It's just selling an in the money put. It's just like a put spread, but in the money, pretty much.
No. It's actually I think the puts are slightly out of the money, but it's like selling a 40 delta put and buying a 30 delta put.
Okay.
Okay, but that's the put spread. But then at the same time is owning a deep in the money. Is owning a 90. Right now QLDY or QLDY owns a 1,000 strike NDX call for December. So that's stock. That's 99.999 deltas. It goes up and down like stock, but they sell this little put spread every day in addition to having stock.
Cool.
That's what it is, and that's kind of what the catch is. It's almost kind of like cheating. It's almost like poor man's leverage or
right.
or whatever. But anyway, it back tests really well. So and I think, and I'm hoping that I think this fund will be exciting and stuff. I'm excited about it. We'll see. But Blocks has been great, and that's what Blocks is doing. That's right. What I mean. In Blocks it's a great kind of little gimmick. It's a great little gimmick. Anyway.
Yeah, I've been going through their holding. I was looking at their holdings recently, and I saw all those put spreads in there, and I was like, "Oh, this is super interesting. This is super interesting." Because I've been afraid of them also because they do, they're picking like the alti tickers. They're picking really highly volatile tickers in there. It's all BMNR and coin and all kinds of stuff. It's Riot.
It's the same as all. It's a very similar concept to alti. It's kind of that's their deal is they play those really crazy ones, but man, they've been doing a great job at it so far. And those lightning spreads, and lightning spread, it can be anywhere. But they've been selling them a little bit out of the money, but yeah, that's all it is. But it's all it is, nothing fancy. The only problem with it is in a down market, unlike a covered call strategy where you have a buffer in a down market, you have the reverse.
Right.
Because you've given up your buffer, and in fact, you've made it it's like somebody's holding your head underwater in a down market. You do a little bit worse by whatever the width of the spread is. But anyway, that's fine. That's nothing's perfect, but man, it's going to be fun in a bull market. It's going to be a great strategy.
I wonder if we can do the Batman thunderstorm spread or something where we do ratio spreads on each side, so you get a little bit of a hedge, and you're still getting some put in some short.
I call that a straddle strangle swap.
Yeah. I remember the old TLT ones.
Yeah. And those are fun. I do that. I've done those in real life a time or two. They're just like trading money with yourself. Anyway, but because you're just basically covered, you basically can't lose much or really make much either. So, but yeah, they're fun to mess with. Cool. Hey, so listen to here. SB had a suggestion. He says that. Well, you can read it, or
yes. Yes. So that's definitely what I'm going towards, SB. I want to that portfolio view is so the way it works is it's portfolio. You have multiple portfolios. Inside those portfolios, you have positions. Inside those positions, you have trades, right? And so it's more like campaign style, where let's say you bought 100 shares of NVIDIA and you sold calls against it every week. That position is going to aggregate all your debits and credits over time, and it's going to show you what you've made on the position over time. And so it does that today. It's just manual. And so I'm working on the automatic updating of that. And so you'll be able to see that over time. So you can see, so you can really track like what am I making on this position over time.
But it's going to work with but it's going to sync with the brokers here soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's
where it can just, or it can at least know what your portfolio is. Because I don't know what my portfolio is. I don't know what's stripped today. I don't have it memorized, but it'd be cool if it just went and got my latest portfolio. Or if it had the ability to do that. I thought you were working on that.
Yeah, no, I am. I'm just afraid. I'm still working on the syncing stuff. It's not perfect yet. So I have to, because the problem is I have to, depending on how many day trades are happening, and you could have open and closed trades completely during the time since the last sync. So I need to process every transaction, go and reconcile and try and look up and try and find the existing trades to buy to close those trades if they exist. And if they don't, if I can't find them for whatever reason, then I need to show you like a screen to like reconcile and figure out, okay, I couldn't find
that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that.
It's hard. This one's been a slog. it's been a tricky one that I don't want to release it yet because I'm super scared. I don't want to ever show people like the wrong information. That's like the scariest thing. I don't want people to think that they're doing better than they are, or they're doing worse than they are, and then they make a decision based on something they see in my app, and I'm like giving them the false hope or giving them bad info.
And I was kind of joking about the lightning spread. That's probably just such a little niche. It's a cool deal, but I'm kind of joking about that. But I do hope I hope it's a successful fund. But in all seriousness, here's something. I don't know if you've thought about this, if you have the ability to do this, but is there any way in your back tester you could have the ability to back test, strategies where you like a strategy where you like go out and you buy a leap, and then like every week you sell a put spread against it.
Okay.
But you save the same leap. In Tasty Trade, you have to go into the whole thing,
right,
out of the whole thing every time. You cannot keep I don't know how hard that would be but that would be a huge advantage that you have.
Sure.
And I know that you're also looking for the Tasty Trade type audience. I don't know. That would probably be a nightmare to be able to like do different legs of a strategy.
Yeah. So right now, what I'm doing is I have an engine. I've built a back testing engine that will run a strategy until it gets to a certain event, and then it kind of broadcasts an event and says like, I was assigned or whatever, right? And so, and then once I get that event in like the main engine, then I know, okay, now I switch from strategy A to strategy B, and then I start running that. And so like that's what's happening here is we're selling puts, and then we get assigned, and then it switches. Actually, it might be a little bit easier here of like, we sold this $200 put, expired worthless. We sold this 2025 put. It actually got assigned because we closed at 201.08 on that expiration date, and so now we got assigned 500 shares, and then we instantly sold 5 calls the next day, right? And so that actually got assigned right back again, instantly, of course. But so I have the technology to switch between strategies now, which is super interesting. And so now I'm like, great, now I can just kind of build a way for people to combine strategies where you can do maybe right now it's only one leg at a time. Also, I can buy shares and I have the covered call, and I have that done for the covered call side, but the put side is just the one leg. But yeah, so I want to add that, and I also want to the next task for this feature for the back tester is I wanted to combine them together and run them both at the same time and do a covered strangle back tester. And so I want to sell puts and calls at the same time and have the 100 shares the whole time as well, because that's actually what I do a lot myself when I'm trading. So I wanted to see that personally, and so that is for me to extend this engine to do that. would get you what you want, because I would run a deep in the money leap strategy, and then I'd be running a short call strategy at the same time. And then anytime the short call got assigned or got up, I would, reset the leap put or something like that, right? Or hit the leap call, or vice versa.
Separate trades you can monitor. But that's what I mean. Tasty Trade does not have the ability to do a campaign, like I'm going to, you know what I mean? Anyway, but that would be great if you could do that.
I have, I have Option Omega, as well as I have a subscription to that for the next couple more months until December.
And you can definitely do that in there, and that's where I was
crazy stuff. Option Omega is legit. You can't do this though. You still can't do a wheel strategy, but you could. What it'll let you do is you can you can do these individual back tests, and then you can create a portfolio of the back tests, and then you can see what that portfolio would look like over time. And so that's how they get around it. But still, I think this is I'm definitely biased, but I've used a lot of back testers. I've had subscriptions to eDelta Pro and Option Omega. I've used Tasty. I'm trying to think of what other ones I've used as well, but they, none of them have been able to switch strategies on the fly and be able to do this, where we're figuring out, okay, we're assigned, and then we got assigned these puts, and we're actually moving you can see the price curve is moving exactly with the price of the shares, and plus a little bit more because it's getting covered call data right there. And then if I click on one of these exercises, it's actually breaking down, okay, what is the whole profit and loss breakdown that you received for that leg of the race, that leg of the cycle of the whole campaign. And so it's adding up all of the call premium that you collected and showing you what you received there, as well as the stock profit and loss. And you actually lost $2.50 a share on that because you got assigned at, I don't even remember where I put the assignment price in here, but we were assigned at $212.50, and then we actually got exercised at $210. The $210 call ended up getting exercised a couple weeks later, but we still made $4 in the meantime, so there was still a profit.
An overall profit, but you lost $2.50 on the shares.
Yeah, on the exercise.
But you made a little bit of premium.
Yeah, it's been fun, man. This has been really fun. I actually I was working on so what I'm doing is and so you guys can try this out. It's a little slow the first time for a stock like Apple's going to work because it's the one that's there. But my data provider has these CSV files that I can access for any day, and that CSV file has every single stock, every single contract for every single stock for every expiration date. So it's like a CSV for every day that has 250 to 300,000 rows in it. And
closing price only though? I mean, end of day?
It has, it does have open, high, low, close.
Oh, well, still pretty good. Okay, so end of day data, basically.
So, so pretty much, and that's what I'm just using the close just to be safe and just being like, okay, that's the thing you can be kind of sure of is the close. You're never gonna get the top or the bottom, right? But you always can get the close pretty easy. And so I just use the close price for the day for the calculation. And so what I'm doing is when I click this here and I click NVIDIA and I'm gonna hit run backtest. Right now I'm looking through. It actually did it pretty quickly. And so I'm looking to see if I have that data cached already for those months. And thankfully I do already. Everything's already cached. And so everything's good. Now it's going to actually run the strategy against those dates in just a moment, or it's actually starting to cache September right now. And so it found June, July, and August, but it didn't find September contracts. So it's going to cache September right now. Once this is cached, it's much faster. But this is actually going behind the scenes. It's downloading a 5 megabyte CSV file for every single day, parsing those 250,000 rows, finding all the relevant contracts that we care about, and then putting that into a place where we can easily access it. And so now
it's amazing that any of this works at all. I can't believe it.
Tell me about it.
Tell the people, or you may not want to, but is it true that, let me just say this, I heard a rumor that a major brokerage house wanted to hire you a few years back. Is that correct?
Yeah. I did almost work for Tasty not that long ago. It was in the interview process, and I was like, so I run a startup on the side I have a co-founder that I worked with previously, and we're doing apps that are more focused on the restaurant industry than stocks, stocks and options. Sure. This is my baby that I work on the side. This unfortunately is not on the pitch deck. That's what I'm trying to do, is get this. We're just like bootstrapping all of these apps and things, and so hopefully I can get this to at least pay for itself, and then we'll start doing some big marketing pushes and stuff like that. So this is going through every day, and then it's trying to figure out, okay, what is the what are the contracts? So right now it's selling calls for August. Now it just jumped to August 28th. It's still selling calls. Didn't get assigned yet, or maybe I might have got assigned in the middle, and then switch back to covered calls again. But we're almost done there. I'm working on. I want to speed this up, right? And then I want to make it cool, like tasty, where you can actually see the progress, and so you don't have to wait until the end to finally see.
Yeah, you need to make it where you can see the P&L live. I mean,
right.
as it goes, oh my God, that is so fun.
Right, and you see it coming in, and everything moves, and you see your you can see your data moving and changing, and they're like, all right, it's going up and going down. It's like, oh, it's winning, and then it's losing, and then it's winning. It's really fun watching the tasty one.
Exactly, but yeah, you'll get there.
Yeah, I'll get there. So yeah, you can see we were just selling puts the whole time, and then we finally got assigned on August 1st, and then we're selling calls ever since, and we actually surprisingly didn't get assigned there. Yeah, actually, one thing to talk about too, and I know, Max, I was watching. I saw you did. I was watching one video where you were playing with this, and you definitely had great feedback. Where I used to have this. I had in the money here, but it was causing bugs, and so I want to sell in the money puts as well, right? You sell in the money put, or in the money put spread eventually. But I was having issues with all the logic. I was definitely causing bugs, and I was like, I gotta take it out for right now. It's like,
yeah,
it's too hard. But I will add that back for sure.
I hear you.
Because even like I would like to do that even on like, because you can switch from covered call to puts and just covered calls of like, what if I would love to backtest just like a buy right strategy on StockTools, and just like, what if I was just selling 60 delta calls and doing a buy right strategy on StockTools and just capturing all that extrinsic every week.
Or you could do the same thing by selling it without stock, by just writing a 60 delta put.
Right, for the 40 delta put or something, or
well, no, actually 60 delta, because it's inverse. That's the equivalent of a 40 delta. A 60 delta put is the equivalent of a 40 delta call, which is like a couple of strikes out of the money. Yeah. So get this, Defiance, that fund that no one really likes that much, Triple QI, that's what they do. They sell a 60 delta. The 60 delta is one strike in the money, but it's out of the money if it's the other way around. Yeah, it's topsy-turvy. It's synthetic world. But anyway, so some people like that in the money. I'll tell you this, it's not just them. Granite Shares sells in the money puts and leveraged funds. They might sell, and sometimes they sell at the money, but like in SPX, they in YSPY, they'll sell an SPXL, and they might sell a strike or two in the money to capture that extrinsic or intrinsic, whatever, to get the and also to capture some upside, to give themselves some exposure to the upside.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, man. It's I've been I have love-hate relationship with covered calls lately. That's for sure. They've been kicking my butt. I've been rolling lately. It's been really frustrating, I would say.
Yeah, Retired Cop says it's frustrating to try to find something that works with Tasty, and that's true.
Yeah, I agree. It's been hopefully we'll get there. I hope I can. Because honestly, the Snap Trade integration, I will be able to place trades as well through that once I get that fully functional. So that's super exciting, where I can actually go from, if a user has added the connection, that if they would be able to click right from like the option screener of like sell this put right now and things like that, as well as I want to be able to automate some of this management too, right? And so you could set up things where it's like, okay, if my put does go in the money, automatically roll to the next monthly expiration or something, any kind of like logic style trade management, right? Like similar to Option Alpha.
My favorite management strategy for long option is sell half the position when I get a double.
Sure.
I buy something at 1, sell half at 2, and then the rest is a runner and it's free.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, but there's a jillion ways to do it. They're way more sophisticated than that. Because that also depends on how much time's left. But other things being equal, I like to sell half if I have the opportunity to.
Right. Anyway. And that's what I want to actually build into this thing as well. Like I have that rolling engine where I already have the logic where it's going to determine, should you roll or not, based on your current scenario of like, you kind of build this into a back tester as well. And like trying to figure out, okay, should I roll or could you allow it to roll, or would you just rather get assigned? And you're like, okay, what if could I do a test where I'm rolling every time, and then another test where I don't roll? Yeah, I don't know. I bumped up. No, it's still 90. Interesting. I bumped up the profit target to 90%, hoping I would get assigned, but I didn't get assigned more. Usually, you get assigned more if I.
Sure. You went for a higher profit target.
Yeah, higher profit target, and then hopefully, usually you don't get it, and then you just end up getting assigned instead. But yeah, like and similarly, like all of these fields, mousing over all of them, they'll explain any of the calculations that are happening here, and I try to do that throughout the whole app. Really, is like, how do I teach a man to fish kind of mentality, right? Like all of these things are all things that everyone should, hopefully, if you're trading options, you should be able to understand or kind of do some mental math around some of these things.
Yeah.
Maybe not 73% divided by 8.5% to figure out the MAR ratio, but you should understand like what the MAR ratio is and how that works.
Yeah, I love the MAR ratio, but yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else I've been building. So I added on some stuff into the income goals.
Okay.
So the income goals is like, the idea is starting backwards from an income target, right? So you'd say you have like, I want to make $15,000 a month. And it was just kind of a blank field here. I just added some pre-populated options for people. Since people don't have ideas, you get here and you see a blank field, you're like, what do I do? What do I do? And you're just like, all right, well, we'll throw some Microsoft in and some Tesla in, and we'll do some
lightning spreads. I'm just
we'll throw some MicroStrategy, they're doing well, and some Coinbase. And so what that's doing now is, just trying to figure out, okay, if I want to make $15,000 a month is the target, what do I need to do that? And so it's able to hit it. It was able to hit it at 16,000 by selling 4 contracts of Microsoft, 2 contracts of Tesla, 3 contracts of MicroStrategy, and three contracts of Coin. And then this is using the monthly cadence and 35 delta because we selected moderate, right? But if we selected conservative, it would switch to 20 delta options, and then I could switch it to like weekly instead. And so and then it'll go find the weekly contracts, and then
nice.
So it's like just trying to do estimates. Like it's not anything set in stone. It's all very much based on right this second the state of the option chain, which changes day to day based on IB and all that fun stuff. But just trying to, this is stuff that I would do all the time in my spreadsheets. I would like literally go through an option strat and go and figure out all the covered call prices, and then try to figure out, okay, if I bought 3 lots of this, 4 lots of that, and like trying to figure out from an income, like, can I replace my salary as a corporate employee? How do I replace my salary? How do I pay my mortgage? Or how do I?
Exactly. You built a piece of software that does that, that can do that in a more sophisticated manner. Because you can work backwards. Yeah. So if your salary is $15,000 a month, whatever, you put whatever your salary is right there, and then work backwards.
Yeah, and just figure out, okay, well, I need 600 grand to do that, or whatever it is, right? Or I need to get Microsoft out of here because it's 19% IV, and if we dump Microsoft and replace it with something else
or whatever, replace it with
with Hood. Now that just went from 620 down to 4. Yeah, we just saved $150,000 of having to make that to get our income, right? So it's been fun. This one's been fun. I have a similar one for dividends as well, because I know we have a lot of dividend nerds here. And so similarly, we'll say I want to make $15,000 a month. That's a lot. That's a lot of divvies. But so I have some funds here of like Curve and Yield Max and Yield Max Multi and Neos and Roundhill and all these. And so you can go in and just say, okay, I want yeah, QQQ isn't a good one because they don't pay a good dividend. But let's say we'll do yield max. We'll do Alt, of course. We'll throw Alt in there for 25%, and we'll say Tesla for 25%, and NVIDIA for 50%. And then
I don't think I've seen this yet. Or I noticed it. I maybe haven't noticed it. I've seen it, I guess. That's incredible.
Yeah, I think I showed it last time, but I didn't have this quick add thing here on the side to like really just, because the thing is, like, I just had empty fields here, and I feel like people were just coming to this page and being like, okay, I don't.
Yeah, I got you.
I have to think too much about like, okay, what stocks do I want? I don't even know which ones exist or stuff like that. So I added these so you can see the yield as well right underneath them. And these yields are based on their last 4 payments and just extrapolated out.
Nice.
So yeah, so you can go through and click and try to see, okay, who's paying what and who's doing what. Yeah, and then this is where it goes. Like, I went a little bit crazy on this feature. But yeah, so it breaks down, how much you need, what's your total cost, like how many shares do you need to be able to hit those income goals. So the idea actually is a little bit different. And so I know a lot of people would rather just put shares in here. They want to enter how much shares do I want for each thing. But instead I did this a little backwards where I'm like, if you put 25% for Alti, I'm going to tell you how much Alti shares you need to make 25% of your income from Alti. And so it's saying, you need 9,000 shares of Alti, which is 52 grand. If you want to get 25% of your income from Tesla, you'd need more. You'd need $91,000 from that. And so maybe I might need, I think I need to add a toggle in here to make it's super confusing for people, I feel like. So I need to either make it like a toggle where it's like, do you want the calculation to be based on the income goal or the allocation to dollar amount kind of thing? So the total cost, I guess, is probably the way to do it. But I've been building these as the income goal is like the thing I work backwards from, of just like, what do you need per month? And how do we get there? How do we get there? I think I need to explain that more, that it's more based on everything's working backwards from how to generate income, not for how much do I want to buy from each stock. But I don't want to buy 25% of my portfolio with Alti and 25% with Tesla. I want to make 25% from either.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. It's but that could easily be confused.
Yeah, it is. It's confusing for people. They're used to the other way where they're saying like, okay, I want 25% Alti, 25% Tesla, and they're like, why are these so different? I would expect it to be the same.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. But
yeah, so like you say, you can maybe have a toggle on there where it can figure both ways or either way, right, or it doesn't matter. So I mean, that's probably be a huge pain. I don't know, but
yeah, it wouldn't be too bad. It's more confusing for the user of just like, how do I present it to the user without confusing them already with enough confusion on the screen? I feel like people are already confused by a lot of this stuff. But then I actually went really hardcore into the estimating of the future payments for this stuff, right? And so none of these funds ever do forward estimates, right? Like, so it's always the last minute. You find out the day before, all of this stuff, right? And so, but what I'm doing is I'm going back and I'm looking at the historical dividends, and then I'm figuring out, okay, what day are those dividends paid on? What's the cadence? And then trying to estimate, okay, what are the forward payments from there, right? And so trying to figure out, okay, well, if the last payments have been an average of this is what the estimate for the future payments would be. And then they would be on these dates as well.
Boy, that's really nice.
And so, so we can see so there's not much left for September, but for October, we could see there would be 9 payments, and they would be, Alti would pay every week, NVIDIA would pay twice, it looks like. Looks like 2 weird payments here, though. Where did this guy come from? Oh, the XDiv. It's showing the XDiv date and then the payment date, right?
Yeah.
And then I don't know if anyone has used like the Market Watch tool. There's like a dividend tool that I've pretty much copied, where you would go in and you would say, I want JEPQ and whatever, and I want 1,000 shares of that, and then they would show kind of this thing over time. I've built the same thing, but it's based off the portfolio, and so it's showing like, okay, if you did this portfolio over time, what would that be if we were withdrawing $1,500 a month, or we'll say $500 a month. It's very, very similar. Let's see, where do we set this at? Oh, 15,000, right? We'll say 5,000 here, just to be safe. just so we can show the difference, and just so you can see like the compounding gains over time, as well as seeing like how your shares grow over time. I do need to add in the same thing that other market beat tool has, where it says, whether you expect the NAV to increase or decrease over time, and whether you expect the what the percentage of the dividend is going to increase or decrease over time as well. And so I need to add those fields in here to add that to the calculation.
To make that. Yeah. I've never used that tool before.
Yeah, it's pretty much this screen right here. It's pretty much this. You just go in and you input your information, and then it'll do one of these, and then it'll show what are your shares over time. But it's doing it for one ticker at a time, right? So that's the difference for here, is it's doing this based on your whole portfolio, and then trying to figure out, okay, how many shares would it be buying over time and all that stuff. And then showing a calendar, and then showing like trying to break out the calendar. Like this isn't.
Yeah, and so it estimates by the cadence and the days of the previous ones with the next ones, because they don't tell you till the last minute.
Right. And so some of these are off a little bit. I don't think these pay on Tuesday and Monday, but I got some bugs to look into here. They're future estimates. And I do actually also have like a whole dividend calendar screen. If you guys are into normal dividend calendars, or even the other ones too, you can pick. I have some other ones in here.
So what do you mean normal dividend calendars? Oh, you mean like
the normal stocks that aren't selling calls and paying 50%. So the boring ones.
Boring.
Yeah. The dividend aristocrats, AbbVie, ADP, all these boring guys.
Coca-Cola and AT&T.
Yeah, Target.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay, go ahead. Stay poor, whatever.
Yeah, I'm going to get my
I'm just joking. Okay, no, that's awesome though.
Yeah, but just trying to show that view as well, and just trying to show a similar view there of like trying to pre-populate some of that stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's new that you guys haven't seen yet. But that's really it. Like I've been more working on trying to fix like small bugs and make stuff work better, especially this portfolio stage, because I've been working on that snap trade stuff behind the scenes, and it's really been the back tester has been. This was something that Max and I were talking on Discord one day, and he was like, it'd be cool if we can do back testing. And I was like, I don't think I can. And then I found the CSVs in my system in the Polygon. They have these things called flat files that have those CSVs with all the data in them. And I was like, all right, I just got way deep in the weeds on one weekend. And then I just kept going for like a week straight, and just eventually came out with this thing. First I started with puts, and then we did calls, and
next lightning spreads for soon. Lightning spreads.
Yeah, soon lightning spreads. Soon put any put spread, any call spread. Soon some of that stuff. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Someday, if this keeps evolving, you'll probably just be able to do whatever you want. Just test any, like the tasty tray back test. But maybe you could even use different wings with different. Like we were talking about.
Yeah, totally. Or even like dynamic wings based on the IV or something like that. Like there's
dynamic. Exactly. Exactly. So I've been using, the one I use all the time is just the dividend, the ETF,
this guy.
ETF analysis. But I love that. I just put it on everything and just sort the day, the week, and the month. And we look at that at least twice a day. And that is so handy. Just that one report is so handy.
It's been super cool.
But also I was going to say, the max factor's been working just perfectly.
Cool.
I've been using that. Yeah. So now what I need to do with the max factor is make it pretty, is put some type of way, like a dashboard or something to make it attractive. But I finally at least have data that I can rely on to build something on top of. So I'm just beyond thrilled.
Awesome, man. I'm super happy. I watched the top 20 this weekend. Everything looked great. Your views, like your website looked great. It looks super cool coming in one after the other and everything. It's awesome, man.
Heck yeah. Well, I appreciate you for watching that. Well, and I also appreciate you for being here. Let's just cut this live short. We've been on about an hour.
Oh, wow. Yeah, sure.
I know it. I can't believe it. But yeah, we'll not cut it short, but we'll just, anyway, I'll let you go get to other stuff. I'm sure you have stuff to do, and I do too, actually. I got to get out of a video on this. Have you heard about these? Defiance funds that are leveraged long plus income? The ticker's QQY, and there's another one called SPXI. Anyway, they're 150% leveraged.
Whoa.
On half the portfolio, but the other half is unencumbered and just sells options or something. So it's going to be compete with Round Hill. Anyway, I'm really excited about it. I'm in the middle of a review on it, and I kind of wanted to plug it here. But anyway, I'm excited about that. That video should be out tonight. I'm just got to go finish it up.
Super cool. Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for having me on today and letting me rant about my app. Greatly appreciate it. If any of you guys like have any questions or anything, I'm in the Discord too, so feel free to ask any questions in there. I'm in the option. I mainly look at the options channel, and I'll come in there and peruse around and see what people are trading and see what people are doing in there. But yeah, please feel free to sign. And even it's free. I'm giving this thing away. Also, it's like free for 14 days. All you got to do is create an account. And you know, no subscription required, and
no credit card even. You get it for 14 days even without a credit card number.
Yeah. Just get in and try it out. I just want people to try it. If you find any bugs, please feel free to email me at support@StockTools, or hit me up on Discord or on Twitter too. That's my Twitter handle right there in the thing. So yeah, man. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
I'm typing in my affiliate code right there.
Max.
Okay, well, very good. Okay, I'm going to end the stream. All right. Hey, you guys have a good day.
Thanks, guys.
All right, see you.